Hello, amazing parents. You're welcome to the day two of the 21-day screen time challenge. All right, today we are going to be looking at understanding the effect of excessive screen time. So, our topic for day two is understanding the effect of excessive screen time. Okay, you remember the story I was telling you yesterday about Mr. and Mrs. Justin, who returned home with their children, and everybody got engrossed in their screen. And the next day, um, they discovered that their children didn't do their homework. Now, here is still Mr. and Mrs. Justin. Today, their children, they just came back from school and they discovered that there was power supply, and the oldest one just went again to the TV and turned it on, and three of them just sat down there and started watching TV. By the time their mother realized to call out on them, it was about 6 p.m. That means they came back by 3 p.m. and to 6 p.m. they had spent 2 hours on the screen. Okay, so this is what their life is like, and by the time their mom was calling out, they were not still satisfied to leave. Okay, they wanted to spend more time. Now, like I said, screen is an integral part of our this day society. This generation, we cannot do without screen, but we are asking the question, how much time is too much? Okay, now you realize yesterday that those children didn't attend to their homework, and today they just returned from school. They hadn't done anything, and they are already binging on the screen, spending hours on the screen. And probably, let's assume that they may not do their homework again. Okay, so the question we are asking is that what is the effect, or what are the effects of excessive screen time? Okay, when screen time is not regulated, when children just use the screen anytime they want, whenever they want, wherever they want, what are the effects, right? That is the question. Now, I'll just give some statistics. Okay, so with these statistics, we will be able to create a balance. All right, we may not be strictly following what statistics said, but it will help us. The purpose of the statistics that I'm going to be giving you is to help us to bring a balance, okay, to our children existing screen time. All right, now there's this statistics that children, these studies that children who are less than 2 years old should have zero screen time. Okay, and then children between the age of 2 and 5 years old, they shouldn't spend more than an hour on the screen. And children between 6 and 12, or 8 years old and 12, shouldn't spend more than 2 hours. So this is what experts has told us. Now, what will be the effect if a child is spending more? So in order for us to know, we need to find out what, like we did yesterday, our children's current screen time, and we are going to compare it to these statistics that I just gave you. Okay, so now when children spend a lot of time on the screen, it has effect. It's a normal law of life. Too much of everything is bad. So whenever you are doing too much of a thing, there must be a complementing negative effect. So that is what we are talking about. So excessive screen time has a lot of negative effects, which I am going to be revealing to you. Number one is that excessive screen time disrupts children's sleeps, right? Or normally children play into their sleep. Even in their dream, they are still playing. So they carry on their activities from the conscious time to when they go to sleep. This means that a child who is excessively exposed to the screen is going to be having disruption of sleep, and this is because of the 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 blue light, the effect of the blue light that produces a hormone called melatonin, and this hormone is what regulates sleep. So because they are excessively exposed, this particular thing, the blue light that emitted from the blue light, keeps causing disruptions, okay, to them. And again, it affects them physically. Children who are always exposed to the screen, sitting down one place, watching a cartoon, or playing video games, or just spending time passively on the screen. Imagine a child spending 4 hours, 5 hours, a 2-year-old spending 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours on the screen. They are at risk of excessive weight gain, okay? And we call this obesity. Again, it affects their mental health. Children who spend a lot of time on the screen are likely to experience anxiety, depression. If we're talking about bully, children who are exposed to screen a lot, especially unguided screen use, that the parents don't pay attention to the content of the things they see, the videos they watch. Those children, they kind of they have a lot of, they're always anxious, all right. They are always, when you try to take away the screen for them, they run into depression. And this is due to the constant stimulation from screen, which can make it difficult for children to focus in life. There's always this stimulation. That's why people have it that, oh, some parents will say, some parents who knows this thing, you hear them, they say they don't expose their children to Cartoon Network, okay, because Cartoon Network has over time, people have seen that it has a lot of negative effect on the children. Some people say they don't expose their children to Coco Melon, because Coco Melon has a lot of color combinations and it stimulates children excessively. Because of this, the children tend to be anxious, the children tend to, so this is why it is so, okay. Again, children who are excessively exposed, one of the effect in this mental health category is that they don't tend to focus on any other thing. All right, you must have observed it. If from your tracking you know that your children, they consume a lot of visuals, okay, they're always spending time on the screen, either they are playing games or what, or they are watching cartoons. So I will use cartoon as an example, because in Nigeria, children spend more time on cartoon than they spend in playing video games or other stuffs. Now, children who watches cartoon a lot, the screen has power to grab their attention. So the screen grabs their attention in such a way that they are not able to pay attention to other things that matters. Now, I will tell you this story. There was a time that I visited a friend, and when we got there, they were saying, greet Auntie Joy is greeting you. So I was trying to be friendly. Oh, how are you, girl? How are you? And they're saying Auntie Joy is greeting you. And the girl is not even paying attention. It's not even noticing she doesn't want to be disturbed, because she is so engrossed into what she is doing. Oh, the other time they were not calling her and say, come and eat, come and eat, come and eat. She's not paying attention to come and eat, because what she's watching, Sophia the First, which is a cartoon that she was watching at that time, is more important. She's enjoying herself, right? Okay. Now, exposure to excessive screen time can lead to poor school performance in children. Remember the story of Mr. and Mrs. Justin's children, how they failed to do their homework. Now, this is what happens when children spend so much time watching cartoons. They will have less time for homework, they will have less time for study, and they will have less motivation for study, because all their mind, remember, it is about programming. If you have programmed your children to know that, oh, study is what matters, study is the activity you should be spending your time on, okay, they will be acting that way. But also, when you have programmed them, either ignorantly, consciously or unconsciously, that, oh, you can have the screen whenever you want, they will also, that will become their priority. I don't know if you get the point. That will become their priority. So because of, over time, the screen has become their priority, is what they find joy and satisfaction doing, is what they enjoy doing. Oh, this other one, study and homework and assignment and creative stuff, they are boring to them, right? It's something they do out of compulsion. So when children it results if they continue failing to do their homework, it's going to affect their score in school. It's going to affect their performance. If they never have time to say, "Oh, I need to study. Let me go and study. We have exam tomorrow. Let's revise it. Let's look at this. Let's learn new words. Let's learn how to draw this." They will not also be doing well in school. So you can see the scenario, right? Now, another thing is that excessive screen time make children to prefer to interact with screen than to relate with family members, with caregivers, with friends. So remember the story of that my friend that I visited, and the child, I was trying to greet and be friendly with her child, and the child was so engrossed. That is the way it is. The screen is enough company to them. Okay, so they find it difficult to relate. They are not interested in people. But this period is a period where children should be spending their time relating with their caregivers, relating with their friends, relating with their teachers. Okay, but when it is replaced, relationship with fellow beings is replaced with screen, they now derive all that they derive joy interacting with the screen than to interacting with with people. Now there are other things that you must have noticed, but today it's the task you'll be carrying out, having understood that screen time has a lot of negative effects on children. Pay attention to them and observe them. What are the some of the negative effects you can see that screen it has caused your children? Excessive screen time has caused your children. What are the I need you to um tailor it to your children. Observe them, think about them. Since with the way they watch cartoons, with the way they use the screen, with the way they use their phone, with the way they play video games, with the way they do all of this, from your track yesterday, can you say that there is a negative effect of excessive screen time in them? It could be that, oh, they don't have, it's causing them, they don't have time management, they don't have time for anything. Okay, they go to school late because they use the screen late into the night and they wake up late. They don't do their homework because of this. They feel lazy to do other things because of excessive screen time. So just all those practical things. So observe your children and write the report about the negative effect of excessive screen time in them. Okay, so whether it is one thing that you have noticed or two things, just write it down and come to the support group and share with us. And then see you tomorrow on day 3, and thank you for joining.